And we are streaming. So, Tiles and Fusion for the 28th of January 2022. We are up against a chat rather than ranked players. And I seriously am hoping for at least a better game than my last one. Yes, indeed. Good evening, Vietnam, I suppose. It's not evening there as far as I can work out, but, you know, good evening, Vietnam nonetheless. Alright, so we have 6 players already queued up, so let's do some shuffling. Of course, I'll get myself in, so I will be in round 1, I typically are. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 here. I do not have a dice currently, so I'm just going to have to go with top down, I suppose. Which is Avarita, Legius, Aegon, and myself for this game. And we have Starful and Prosper queued up. I will let you know as and when we get 2 more players. If I get time towards the end of the day, I'm definitely going to do some analysis on that that game that basically killed my motivation for a... Ooh, that's a loading screen. It is, in fact, a loading screen. There are a few of them, depending on which one you're actually viewing. Okay, then. So, Aegon to my left, Average across, and that. My audio does appear to be slightly out at this point, so... Okay. This also is an abysmal opening hand. We have 10. Do we even think about this? Am I that on tilt that I'm going to take this? $10, no draw, no pairs. Well, we're committed. So 9 pin, 9 man. Against a fast starting Avarita. Very close. Yeah, we'll keep that. Honestly, we don't have backup plans particularly with this, but... That's 6 tiles, no improvement. Pair established.
Gee.
So 9, 9, or 9. Or we backdoor into something stupid. We'll keep the focus on it for some time for the moment because it's not dead. In fact, only one of each currently played. Hey, money. We started with 10, so we figured we might as well. 10 and no pair, actually, to be precise. All we've done is pair up dragons, which, you know, is not the worst thing. But we need to draw those 9s. There will be an open table if you join, sir. Or rather, there'll be a full table if you join. Interesting. Maybe the correct move was to pivot, but... I mean, we might try pivoting now. If we get a chance, but we'll see. Third 9 gone, so... So that particular hand is against the wall. Two 9-men, 3 9-men actually. I mean, this would be a miracle. There's 1 9, 1 9 left. One of each. Didn't occur. Oh, one more draw to get Tenpai, but no, didn't happen. 82. Yeah, it was an unfortunate starting position, but I figured from 10, no pairs, it was at least worth a consideration. We weren't dealer, so we weren't losing a great deal by that attempt. But yeah, 0 progression is what will happen when you have very limited tiles required. Greetings! Well, at the moment, Flas is taking your place, Mono, so... might have to start that one off.
Boom.
Yeah, we want to push to be dealer. Yep, no worries. Okay, so Starfall, Prospero, Rumi, Flaza, good luck to you 4. No worries. Not going to call that one. That doesn't give us a lot. At this point, Averita going for a Tanyo Toy Toy.
Chi.
So, Aegon has Dora-san. Well, if that's all he's got, that's all he can do. Well, it's good to see you, Yubi, even if you can't play right now.
G.
Yeah, well, this is a very open table. There is a Dora free showing from the dealer, so Honitsu most likely. Shame both 7s are gone. Not going to Khan into that. Alright, 5-pin for the win then. Simple single weight against the dealer showing that is a little questionable, but hey, this is a very strong starting hand. We'll carry on. Double ton options for Toy Toy, but probably just going to take the Tenpai here if we get it.
Pong.
Double ton on the pairweight. And Aigen's purging the Sozi tile, so we might get the 6 out of him at some stage. If that is what he's doing.
No.
Doubled on T9. Okay, this is not a particularly nice starting hand, but we'll see. North. Well, there are options with this. We could potentially cut the 9s, go for a Tanya push. We could... I mean, there's still East we could draw, in truth, but... seems unlikely. 1 doesn't particularly help us with the current shape we got here, and the fact we've already paired the 6s. The other pair of 6s is a little more flexible because we've got the 5 attached to it. I've already just going for a quick Tanya attack, which is going to be cheap, so we should be okay with that in truth. Yeah, it's not ideal, but we'll cut the 9s here. We have one too many pairs anyway, and everything else marginal, but we can live with it. I don't think we're negotiating with 1 remaining and 7 draws to go. Got a 6. So my leading assumption is there are some Tenpais up, so we're just going to have to hope that we can get a pair weight on something here, I guess. don't really have a way around that. I need 6 pin to be proven safe, I think, to really go for it. Third egg can pick up a win is fine. Also, egg can add some value. Or at least had 2 Dora in his hand, so that's value. Okay, Leggy is still with a small lead going into his dealer turn. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if a 6 would have been safe to anybody really, but you know, it felt too risky for not enough benefit at that stage. I know we were dealer, so maybe that should have been more of a priority with that, but hey, all right. We got this to worry about to start with. I'm not especially worried about its value, so we're just going to play 8-man and see. We have a reasonably fast counter here, but we have to obviously play some risky tiles to get there. Not definite, but if in doubt, play things that are on the table. And at least it wasn't the Apache draw or anything.
Pong.
I'm surprised you're pushing. Mind you, we're pushing as well, so... Counter reach. Yeah, it's annoying, but I'm going to have to play safe on turn 1. I'm quite fortunate for that, because had we not tried playing safe on turn 1, we might have decided that the pair of 4s was the best thing to discard, at least over the 8s, because 4 would have been a CG. So, yeah, that is unfortunate. Legius then takes the lead at the moment. Bullet dodge, but that is the risk you take in attacking it, counter-attacking it. They will occasionally have high value. Yeah, we did what we could safely, I think. And even then we took a couple of risks. Staff will disconnect you, say, well, we can pause that, just bear with. There you go. Have a 5, so. Okay, so we need to still draw a 3 pin. Failing that, we can potentially get rid of the 1-4 and do some other things on the other side of it, but seven pin does not a lot. We may regret that. Should have gone 1 before 4, but at this stage, and just nothing is happening. Also, Aegon has played a lot of 5/6s, so the mid Pinsy tiles actually have been coming out quite quickly. So I'm just taking advantage of the fact that it's probably safe. Alright, Tanya 1.
Pong.
We'll go on the green weight. Okay. Tanya 1. It's not the most valuable thing in the world. Tanya 1 or Dragon 1, I suppose.
Chi.
The reason we're calling that is that I feel this is valuable enough to counter it at this stage. Same value hand. But
No.
oof. I mean, I'm happy to kill Legius' dealer turn off with that. But yeah, Hagen could have got into worse with it, I think. Still, I reckon our hand was about as valuable as theirs, if not very likely. Problem with overcommitting with calls is people can nail down what you're on. I actually guessed he had the pair of greens, in truth. But... or the other pair of greens, because there's always the chances too. Okay, so we have West and stuff. But not a lot of value. It's still paused on the other game, just as an FYI. You haven't told me to unpause it yet, so I assume it's still waiting. Let's get rid of the closed 8-6. Okay. Well, there's nobody else really waiting to play at this stage, and it's still early. We'll give him a couple of moments, but if we comes to it, I can always close the game and just restart. See how long we want to give him. Yeah, because we've got West for pair. We're probably going to split this up into 2 runs anyway, so... there is only one West left, of course, but... but we can always cut the West and go for Tanya. West and Tanya are worth the same, of course. So this is always important to note. So, that's unfortunate. I'll give him till the end of the hand I'm currently playing, and then if it hasn't done by then, I'll just cancel the game.
Pong.
Okay, West Nami. Oh, back. Okay, fine. Restore. East 1. Makes the free pin a little dodgy, but we'll go for it anyway. Yeah, I'm kind of falling out this one. I've only got 1,000 points, and obviously Everest is showing more than that, and dealer. So yeah, I'm just gonna stay out of trouble for this one. I think. If I had a hand that was worth a bit more, then I could consider it. But Eigen Honitsu is also a problem. Well, 6 pin. I've got 4, so I've got white. I've got options here. Nope, Toy commit. Well, Toy is easy enough to defend. Discard what's on the table. But Eigen with Toy. And I'm letting it have it.
G.
There's a pause on 8. I'm wondering if Eigen's got high Manzu. Okay. Well, every has to be tempo. That's just not worth it. 4 safe to all 3 players. Can be called, but still safe to all 3 players.
Note.
Yeah, I don't think carning for a single weight was worth it. Especially as your hand is East 1. Eigen had Toy, and obviously you had Dora from the start of the game. Oh, he didn't have Tenpai, actually. He was on a 5-8 Yakulus thing there, but still. Okay. I think that might be classified as overcommitment, but because I mean, part of the thing, and it's what I did against Avarita, admittedly, because I could see what his hand value was. At least what I assumed his hand value was at maximum. It wasn't worth me competing with a one-hand hand, so I kind of folded out of nowhere. But Eigen does some interesting things. He likes playing his Honitsu pushes, actually. Anyway, we have a possible Sand queue. Other than that, we're just looking to pin through this if we can. Or, of course, get the West. Okay, Sand queue. No, he wants East. Nobody wants East.
Riichi.
Alright, calling the Reach tile. Going with a red 5 on the immediate discard seems very, very... yeah.
Riichi. Tanyao. Dora.
Average is not here, but there is a grand importance in making sure that your Ipatsu discard is safe. And on not giving additional value to the current points leader. But, hey, it's happened. Eigen is dealer, South 2. Okay, Ishanten. Okay, there is scope to improve this, so we're not going to go straight away, but... because there is scope to change this if we draw a 5. Yeah, that's just better. So, low mid Pinzu, mid Sozu, and we're away with the 3-sided weight. Provided, of course, we don't draw an 8, so that's the one thing we don't particularly want out of this, but... But yeah, we could have had the early close weight. I'm just going to try and improve it, though. There we go. For a 10, though. Which is always unfortunate, but... But what are we going to do? Yeah.
Riichi.
We'll take a 6 turn for a 10 reach, see what happens. Could have perhaps waited, but 6 remaining will draw. Oh, the Legis is attacking it. See, I'm kind of the opinion that maybe this would force him to only play big hands, but this isn't the table that's going to listen to that, every to Aegon being on it. So this is just a case of can I draw it before I get into trouble for it. Legius might accept it as a proper thing, although he did discard 5 so immediately. Nobody's got Dora Sun, that's the worst thing. Or at least the worst possible answer out of the way. Well, that limits my options here. So 3 8s, 3 5s gone. So there's one of each remaining. Ah, well. I almost certainly have the worst reach at this point, so... At this stage, hope for the draw. That'll do. Ichito 1. I mean, against an unknown reach, maybe, and it's unknown and missing the early reach, maybe Chitoi wasn't the best of pushes, but again, not going to criticize. It worked, and mine wasn't exactly a well thought out one anyway, so. Well, we have Tom. So 22-3 behind in my dealer turn. Would take a bit of luck to catch up, but it's not impossible. Just not going to do it this hand. It's going to have to be second or third attempt, really, that we're going to have to make that comeback still. And yeah, second is fine.
Chi.
Yeah, made no doubt. Second is fine, but while we got a dealer turn and while we are second, eyes forward, we'll try for the win. Aegon might be doing another Sozi Honitsu thing here. Legius, a little normal, but is doing some things. Not going to take that. Dorohaku. Might have been worth us trying to keep that, but it's probably going to lead troll. Alright, over to you, man.
Riichi.
Counter reach. Yeah, we can play safe for turn 1. Yeah, we pivot here. Yeah, we were pivoting on our hand strength or lack of it, really. So, Riichi is fine. There wasn't a lot of value there, but there was potential it could be, and ultimately, it's fine. So, this is basically a fight for second at this stage. 25 free, even with the dealer sitting there. We're talking Byman to replace that, I think. And unless we get the Itsu to end all Itsus, that's not looking likely. So we're just going to see if we can focus up on winning this hand, I think. Prevent Aegon from getting a Mangan, prevent things from happening. Hello, Pivals. We have 2 games currently active, so might be a little while. Although this one's about to end, so maybe you'll get in then. But looks like we're doing a settle for second.
Chi.
Okay, double run. So, well, near double run, I suppose. I'm settling for second, and in order to settle for second, I need to win this hand with anything. I'm not trying for a high value hand to knock Legius out. I'm trying to steal the win before Aegon gets a Mangan.
Chi.
That's what I mean by settling for second here. Because I could have tried to construct this hand into something. I could have tried to force the Chinitsu, try to get up to Byman to attack Legius. It's far more in my interest to just take a small hand and finish second. Yeah, because, I mean, Aegon probably doesn't have it, but if Aegon were to upgrade this to South, Honitsu, Chanta, then he'd have enough points value to overtake me, so...
Chi.
Okay, 4, 7, 1 remaining of each. Not the best of weights, but you have to be in Tenpai to win.
Low.
So we just take a 2,000 points. It bumps us a little bit. It doesn't make a grand deal of difference to Legius. He probably would have dealt in if he did that, you know. You can see I've got a small hand, so there we go. Points earned. And GG. Okay, I'm going to go and reserve the other game. If you want to start up the next one, that is fine. I will do that. So Mono and Piffles get in because they were waiting. And then it is between Aegon, Legius, and Avarita. So I'm just going to quickly do a thing. Where are my darn dice. I had a dice here, not... Bear with. My dice must be acquired. Over D20. That's not the most useful of things, but hey. Oh, also, we appear to have lost... who did we lose? We lost Legius. Oh no, he's back. Okay. So... 1 to 6 Aegon, down to 12 Avarita, down to 18 Legius, and if it's 19 or 20, well, we'll just keep rolling. 15 Legius. Okay, Aegon, odds or evens? Actually, let's say Aegon odds, because he is odd, and Avarita evens. And I roll a 7. So, good luck. We're going to observe the other table, and if we get 2 more people in the meantime, we will do the thing. Anyway, there was a pause on here, but... Yep, I know, I said you were odd. Okay, well, this is still an East 2. Well, I always give the whoever's new in the table a pass, so, you know, that works as well. Alright, Rumi's dealt into Prospero for a shorthand, and that brings us into Starfall's dealer turn. Okay, so let's follow behind Starfall in East 3. Actually, just have a quick look at the logs before we do too much else here. So, Flaza with a quick win, Prospero Flaza's trading points, Rumi with Mangan, followed by just a draw. Prospero then picking up that win off of that. So, okay. A few bits and pieces happening, but in general, not too bad. Okay, so Starfall with a pretty decent dealer hand. No Yakuhai, but easily able to build that into Pinfu. Outside chance of going to Sanjiku. Flaza has a very fast hand for Shun Dora 1. Prospero, a bit slow compared to that, but actually he's not a million miles away. Would have to cut the Dora, which is what he's probably going to have to consider. Flaza traces 5 for 5, getting an extra bit of value in there. But Ishanten. 8-9 allows Prospero to have the Dora in the hand, so probably will try to hold that if he can. We will remove the random Russian. Meanwhile, what's Ruby doing? So Ruby's hand's a little... Yeah, it's not looking too bad. It's, that was really random Russian. I mean, to be fair, I've started having them appear on all my streams recently, just saying that very small comment, so, yeah, just time it out and remove it. It's not doing anybody any benefit, I think. I don't understand it, but that's beside the point. If we want confused people on Tiles of Confusion, we would play Mahjong. Yeah, I stand by that statement. Anyway, Flaza's unfortunately gone a little backwards here. He's had to play the Forso. I'm not entirely sure why he played that, in truth. Unless he's worried about other things, or he's trying to force a pairs or triplet. Or he could be trying to force triplets. Meanwhile, though, this is giving Starfall plenty of time to build up. So he's now Ishanten with potentially Dora 2. No, it's not confusion. You just have no concept of defense. So you tend to push when you've got no value behind it. But no, your games make perfect sense. It's just unfortunate. Alright, Prospero has hit Dora 2. So is that... no, he's now going to drop one of his pairs. Goes for the Frisos, obviously. Well, I say obviously. The 4-pin potentially can be an extended run, so that makes more sense. And he's got it. 2-5, Reach Dora free. Unfortunately, most of the 5s and 2s are out. He's got one of each remaining in the pond. Yeah, except that that's not really fair, because most of the time when you go for the attack, you've got an open hand and I can see exactly what your value is. The only time I folded is when I had a 1,000 point hand, and you had it obviously showing 2,000 in the last game, but... Oh, Fast giving away a red 5 as well. You do that a lot. You play red 5s after people have reached, or Dora in general. Especially on the Apatsu draw when it's doubly increasing their value. Well, Starbull looks like he's got another good starting hand here, actually, to be fair. Honitsu, probably not Toto as well, but there's that option if it comes to it. But yeah, Prospero now with a narrow second place to Rumi as we enter East 4. So Prospero somewhat to do Flaza, Parasaus, and I mean the hand's not good, not great, but it's not bad either. I mean, it's possible that could be complete in free draws, but they're closed draws and odd edge draws. It's fine. You've got as long as you need. And you'll be teaching me the game like Carl in no time. I have no doubt. But I think it's difficult to say aggression is wrong, because it's not. I think, though, that you get into the trap of knowing you need to be aggressive to win points, because that is something that you're taught, and it's correct. But there is that point of knowing when to quit, which I think sometimes you miss. Especially when you've got to consider expected return values. If you are going all in on a Mungan hand, that's normally far more excusable than going in for a hand that's only worth 2,000. No matter what, even if it's the same risky discard you're making for both. The risky discard for a 2,000 point hand in a typical game situation isn't worth it. Now, it might be worth it if it's a 2,000 point hand that secures you the win, but a Mungan hand, or 8,000 points, is usually going to be more worth trying for. And in fact, if you can see Orvadora, like Prospero can probably afford to push with this hand just on the basis he sees Dora free in his hand. So he's got a lot more options with what he can do here. In fairness, he's got a strong hand as well, but, you know, it's factors on the table, but he's got to bait this against 4 calls. Now, in this case, it is worth him pushing. He's got Dora free, he's dealer, so his hand is worth more just on the basis of that. And he's just hit Tenpai for Sananko. So this is, yeah, I think this is Reach. Yep. Reach 1-9, Sananko potentially, but even if not, it's Reach Dora free. So this is dealer Mungan, 12,000 points, and securing the game win if he pulls this off. That being said, the hand he's up against is a Ton, probably Honitsu. So he knows from that with the Ton Honitsu, it's probably worth about 3-9 as dealer, as non-dealer. So Prospero's hand is worth double that hand, so therefore he can take that risk on that kind of 2-1 return. Also, he's reached anyway, so he's got no say in the matter at this point anyway. But you know, these are occasionally things worth considering. That's going to be a deal into Rumi. So, that, I mean, ultimately that achieves what Prospero wanted. He's now got the lead. It's not as secure as if he'd got it himself, but those be the risks, those be the rewards. And obviously, Rumi was also in a position where he had made calls, so he had investment into the hand. He could see the value of Starfall's hand as being probably 4,000 points. Prospero was an unknown reach, so Rumi's hand value of, I actually can't remember entirely what he had. But, you know, that's sort of a consideration of whether you stay in or whether you fold at that stage. Also, sometimes just how easy it is for you to fold. If all your tiles are middle and, you know, Pinfu connected, it's a little awkward for you to work out how best to fold. And sometimes it's worth just going for the attempt anyway and hoping. Because if it does pass, you're in a good position to win. Which he was at that position, so... Anyway, last is dealer turn. Yeah, it's a couple of closed weights required. Obviously a pair of something. But you can always cut the one of the ones for the pair, so that's got. But yeah, it's interesting. It's just not very valuable. At this stage, though, he'll take any hand he can get. I don't necessarily know if counter reaching is necessarily the best thing to do It is an option, though. I'll certainly give you that. It's an option. I mean, it's an option once you've committed that you cannot change the hand anymore. And regardless of things, you might as well try it. Also, in response to Mono there, I mean, if you're attempting a Kokoshi after somebody has reached, you've probably done something wrong. If you were attempting the Kokoshi beforehand and it just carries on, I mean, why not? It's a Yakuman hand. Meanwhile, while we're discussing nonsense, Rumi has gone into Riichi Tanpin Furiten. So, obviously hoping a little bit to bluff a table, but, you know, as far as he's concerned, he's still got 6 winners, so slowing everybody down while they work around his reach and just getting one of the 6 winners. I mean, I failed to do this in my game earlier today. Maybe Rumi can do it this time. Flaza, however, has the Pursuit Reach available here if he thinks Fatuso will pass. And Rumi hasn't played any. The value of this isn't that great. It's really Reach only as dealer. So Reach only versus an unknown value. Or he can play 1 pin and play safe. And he's actually played safe. Obviously, I know 1 pin would have been is his winning tile, but, you know, it's still safe because of the pool. So, yeah, he's done that. He also has the chance to upgrade the hand value here if he draws East. He can go East for a 2-5, which is certainly better than the alternative was. So, I do agree with what Flaza's done here. Meanwhile, Prospero's hand is looking more and more interesting as this goes on. Alright, close Reach on the 4. With Dora. Okay, so Reach and Dora 1. It's not a huge value increase, but remember you're a dealer, so your hands is worth more. So this is 4,000 points. Against an early Reach with, say, Reach, Pinfu, Sumo, maybe. That's about the same value there. So, again, evaluating. And also, by doing this, you're probably going to deny the other 2 players who haven't reached yet, because they've got to now debate whether they're going to pursue 2 reaches, one of which from the dealer. And they'll only do that if they've got a monster hand, you'd think. At least in normal situations. Flaza Sumos. And picks up his 7-8 because of the Sumo as well. Okay, game back on. So, South 1, repeat 1. Starfall's hands Honitsu, but reliant on getting a bit of luck at the start. Prospero... okay, could do a few things with that in truth. Could even try and force a Honitsu there as well, to be honest. He might even think about Chanter. Probably not, unless you do that. We have one other player and myself, so no, we don't. We're at 10 currently. But this is potentially Rumi's comeback hand here. He's got Dora 2 and a hand that, while not amazing, is about on par with the other hands on the table here, with the possible exception of Flaza's. Alright, Prosper going for the early call to try and force something. Flaza gets a useful draw, so half a step closer for him. So Flaza needs something connected to the free, so, and I think that's pretty much there. Meanwhile, advancement from Rumi. East 4 needs to see reaction. Well, I mean, I can do, I suppose. We got 2 games in progress. I'll leave. If this is not amazing, though. If this is not amazing, Mr. Piffles. Then we will be greatly disappointed. Alright, so we're having a bit of a tip-tappy game at this point. We're in East 3 and not a lot really happened in terms of point changes. So we've had a small Piffles win and a exhaustive draw before we get to that. So let's see where we are. We're following Aegon just because that's where we happen to be sitting. Well, I mean, if you're just going to tell me, I'm not interested anymore. But, I mean, Mono losing points wouldn't be a bad thing for me, because that puts him below me in the table, I think. I'm up 11 on the day. Mono goes down about 25 points. I forget what the spreadsheet looks like. And we are 31.7 apart. So, yeah, Mono loses 20 points. I overtake him, at least as of right this second. Aegon with 2 Dora. Unfortunately, he doesn't actually have a legal hand. One of these days, I'm going to have to teach Aegon about the value of legal hands. Well, I mean, points at this stage. The top 10 is pretty much people who have accrued points. Maybe not quite that bad, actually, but you know. Oh, Mono picks up the Shun Dora win. Alright, 2K. Let's see how this nonsense is going to progress then. But either way, still a tight table up until this point. Let's see. Somebody has picked up a very shiny hand, Mr. Piffles. So I assume that's why you wanted me to see it. So, also Sanjiku. So, you've got Sanjiku plus Carnage. Might be Mono's fault then if he's done that. Yeah, very fast forced Honitsu. I mean, Aegon's hand is looking quite good here. He might actually get himself into a Chitoi position at this stage. Yeah, so I'll sort of see how this is coming together, but... Yeah, so Riichi, Tanpi, and Sanjiku. Presumably it's going to be a double dealing with Aegon, but... At the moment, don't entirely see how. Yeah, so here you want to protect your Sanjiku, I would imagine. Pibbles, your hand was bigger with the 4 pin. You had Sanjiku. I am disappointed in you, sir. You gave up to Han. You'd have had a San Baiman had you have kept that. No, that's my reaction. You gave up value. You left points on the table. As it happens, you didn't get it anyway, but, you know, you didn't actually get the Sanjiku either way, even with that. But, you know, you had a Sanjiku. There were additional points. At least on offer. Not, again, you wouldn't have actually dealt in with that hand either way, and you wouldn't have got it because that 7 changed it. But, you know, it was there. Value was missed. And we prize one thing above all else. Value. Now, let's go back to the other table. Let's just see how this is progressing. So, into Rumi's dealer turn, we have a fairly even... Okay, so I think that's rebalanced a little bit since we were last here. So, what's happened in the last couple of hands? Starfall picking up a small win. Oh, Starfall picking up a draw. Flaza with his win, I think we saw that. So, okay. And again, it wasn't so much that you would have got it, because you wouldn't have done with that 7, so it would have been the same deal in tile, ultimately. But you wanted to give yourself a chance of getting the Sanchiku, surely. Yeah, I mean... Dora 4 starting hands are a dime a dozen. You do get them every now and then. But the ability to convert them is awkward. Also, I'm not sure you can say it's skillful. Although I suppose winning is skillful enough. Drawing the correct tile at the right time is a skill. So, maybe it is. Anyway, speaking of drawing the right tile at the right moment, is Starfall going to be able to do that? Because he is getting close. He needs to drop a pair, ultimately, but, you know, it's... Reach and 4 is what he's got, showing. So for some reason, the 5-pin isn't being shiny. Okay, called 369 Tanyo, but that's fair. Prospect calling to try and just get him above the 30k threshold and to move the game on. Especially from somebody who is likely to be a points challenger. Okay. Shanten, but Prospero picks up the sumo. It's a cheap hand, but that moves the game on and does what he wants. Tanyo Sanchiku. Okay, Starfall dealer turn. So it's still a tight game. Everybody still has a shot at this. Plaza can still make a comeback. But he needs a genuinely good hand. So Chitoi Dora potentially. Beyond that, Starfall just needs anything. Prospero needs just one more win to secure it. He does have a bunch of Dora in his opening hand, actually, and this is a kind of ridiculous starting hand he's picked up here. Might be forced to discard a Dora depending on how this goes, but okay, decides to just stay with that rather than worry about that. Yeah, you get these hands occasionally where you just mentally try and work out what the actual best way is, and it's not always the easiest thing to work out, but I can stay with simplification there. It's just staying with the Ipeko side of things. Wish she'd kept it in truth, but yeah, Ryan is a thing. Not a common thing, but it is in fact a thing. So, Starfall not going to call the dragon here. Yeah. I'm about to say he's dealer, so it doesn't make sense to not call the dragon when it advances his hand. He's only one away at that point. There's not a lot you can improve it around either, so meanwhile, there's been some questionable discards going on here, I think, but that's allowing Rumi to get back into the game a little bit. Yeah, that's backfired. Plaza not going for it. Plaza's still trying to build Chitoi, I would imagine, from that, but Okay, Starfall's there. 6-9, pair weight. Yeah, Prospero is stalled. And looks like Ruby has got himself a pair weight if he wants it. Decides he's going to wait and see if he can... I mean, if he draws any kind of middle Sozu, he gets himself a pin through weight, so... I mean, even that's not terrible. Yeah, because it opens up a number of tiles to get him to Tenpai. Could potentially be in the same weight as Starfall here, 6-9. Well, there we go, 4-7 if he wants it.
Riichi.
Yep, reaching the 4-7. Fortunately, a lot of them seem to be out. In fact, they might all be out here. 7-7, 7-7, 4-4, 4-4. Yeah, unfortunately, they're all out, but it's still a good weight. It's just impossible. Unless Starfall needs to break his hand up and decides to go mad and discard the 4. Prospero is still going nowhere. That is probably going to bring Starfall out of this game, I think. Unless he decides he needs it. He's currently sitting in second, so... Yeah, that's a difficult one, but I agree with it. Unknown late reach. He's not played any Pinsy tiles. And the last thing you want to do is give points to the player directly below you. Especially there's only 2 more draws left. GG's. And Ruby in Tenpai with the 4-7. Okay. So, in what is probably the final hand, let's see if Prospero can maintain his advantage. So, Prospero in a position of any win will do. Rumi, free hand will, any free hand will do it. A 2-hand sumo probably will as well. Starfall, free hand sumo probably, and Flaza needs... Flaza needs a good hand here. Hanneman, I think. Margan, actually, no, we've got Breach Stick and a Repeat in the board as well. So I think actually that means that a Hanneman sumo would be enough for Flaza to make a comeback. But, I mean, he's got 2 Dora. It's not impossible he can make that hand a Hanneman from there. But he's going to need a bit of luck. Yep, Ishanten already on turn 4. That's pretty good. It's not Ishanten for a hand that's valuable enough, but it's a good hand. What are your position change requirements here? So you're 11 down, so Mangan Sumo doesn't quite do it. Mangan hits, though, from either of the other 2 would overtake, I think. Actually, no. I keep forgetting there's 1,300 points on the board. Yeah, I think that actually would Manga and Sumo might be enough for a position. Let's actually change. Yeah, easier for me. Rather than me do the maths, I don't have to do. Yeah, so 8,000, 2 of which coming from there, plus the reach stick for 1,000, 1,300. Yeah, I think that's enough. Maybe. At least for a position. Oh, we'll work it out. Whatever. Anyway, Prospero's going for Honitsu. In any hand or win scenario, might just go for white only, which would also be fine. Yeah, Tudor the Prospero doesn't particularly need, but he's not going to complain about having, because again, that means there's less value on the rest of the players, generally speaking. And he's now one call. No, 2 calls from Tenpai actually. Red passes, and not quite. Still stuck in Ishanten is Flaza. Rusan's building up top. There's the White Dragon set. So, Prospero now Ishanten with a hand he can call with. Just not that. Oh, the struggles of Flaza continue. Well, that's a three-sided weight. Unfortunately, it's a for a 10, double for a 10 three-sided weight if you want to do it. Yep. I actually kind of agree with this, although there is, as you can see, there's a lot out there. But, well, do I agree with that? Because I think the points gap situation is close enough that both Rumi Starfall could overtake him quite easily if they pulled any kind of hand together. So in the late game, asking them the question, do you want to risk it, is probably okay. But obviously that's a risk that you have to consider at the time. And he simmers anyway, so that question's taken away from it. It was a gamble, but I think that's probably fine. Especially as actually reaching when you've already got a White Dragon and don't actually need the points. Well, I mean, you got an inflated point score here, but maybe it was worth holding off. Because again, you had the White Dragon, you didn't actually need it. You were already in the lead. But again, you got 51. Can't argue with that. Well, I can, but you know. The point remains. Okay, so we currently have an Aegon Legius Piffles mono game in progress. Let's just see where that is, and if that's about to end, we will wait. If it's not about to end, we'll start a game up. South 2. Yeah, I think we're going to have to leave this for the moment. So I'm going to join the game and we'll just see what's going on. So, Avarita and myself get in largely on the basis that we were the people waiting for the last set. So I'm then just going to roll off. So 1 to 5 Starfall, 6 10 Prospero, 11 15 Rumi, 16 up is Flaza. At the moment for his first draw, and it is 7, which means it's Prospero who gets in. And then we're doing it in 6s, rerolling 19s and 20s. That is of course a 19. And I get an 8, which means second player, which is Rumi. So currently it is Avarita, myself, Prospero, Rumi, good luck. And Starfall and Flaza will get in on the next set. So, starting south, we have a pretty fast starting hand. 4, 5, 6 Sanchiku is definitely a thing we could try for. It started about the same time as yours, in truth, or a little after yours. I say they're in south too, but yeah, if they were south 3 or south 4, I'd have waited until they'd ended and then done a shuffle, but anyway, so we're Ishanten here, waiting on the 8, well, potentially on an 8 so, or just a single wait on 1 East. Well, I mean, you could. I mean, I didn't see how long they've been in that thing, and it is definitely possible for a game to be in South 2 forever. technically speaking. I have 2 Dora. But I'm not going to go for this. Because I can always go East, cut the 7. Yeah.
Pong.
That is much better. East, cut the 9, being into a 6-7 weight for 2 Dora is much better. So, Ton, Dora 2.
Tsumo.
Yeah, that was a much better weight. And we picked up a 3,000 points as well. It's nice when you make the correct decision and it pays off. Because it's very possible it doesn't a lot of the time in Mahjong, unfortunately. But making the correct decision and it paying off is a nice thing when it happens. Anyway. So, dealership.
Pong.
Okay, room equals south. So some potential options here. We also potentially have a Jinshan up here, I guess, but it's not especially what I'm going to prioritize going for. Just again, a nice upgrade if it happens. We are also up to 4 pairs. So that is potentially a consideration as well. See, I don't know. What's the best option from here? I think honestly, if we break this up and we go for Jinshan. Every now and then. Well, that paid off. He says, not certain that it has. You potentially put ourselves into a 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, or into a 9, 6 weight here eventually. Would like to draw a 9 so I think, because then we can actually start culling on this side. Sadly, no more role playing. I mean, we haven't done role playing in a long while. It is true. But also, we haven't done role-playing in a long while. It is true. Yeah, that's an error. What I've just done there is an error, but we'll carry on. Yeah, and I've got to avoid that now. I don't think he is on a 4-pin weight, but I've got to account for it now. Also, Agan, there may be some more role-playing in the future. Just, you know, more of the conventional sort, I suppose. Well, I mean, technically we now got a... We got a free pin, we might have to go for this. I am okay with that development. Nandora 2. You've activated my trap tile. Indeed. I hope that was a Yakuman. I hope that was a Yakuman, Aegon. I really do. Those are the best sorts of trap tiles. The Yakuman ones. Or they're just the I win cards. Slash tiles. Alright, Western Stout. So we have 6, 7, 8 Sanch Q as a Magical Christmas Land draw. Beyond that, though, we're just looking to tap in here. Well, I mean, you're not in my game, so you can play all the mental games you want, sir. Have I just broken you with that information that you're not in my game? As Aegon just pulled something off. False alarm. Oh dear, has something happened? If you'd reached, you would have won. Oh dear. I may have to review the end of that game once we're done with this. I mean, I did worse. Okay. That's acceptable. We'll go there. So, Ishanten. Potentially Pinfu Sanchku 2. Six pin, 6 man, ideally, but we'll take anything that comes at this point. The button was there and shiny. Yeah. Had to try and stay with it. Didn't work.
Riichi, 一発、ピンク、ドラ。
Deal 'em on. Yeah, so in terms of risk reward here, we were basically Ishanten for a Hanneman, so we weren't Tenpai for the Hanneman, and against 2 Riichis maybe we should have backed up, but alas. Yeah, I've said it before. One of these days, Aegon will accidentally hit a Churin Poto and just nobody will realize it. Including Aegon. Okay, I need sleep now. That sounds sensible, sir. If people do want to start up another game, currently we have Starfall and Plaza queued up, so So currently we have Starfall, Plaza, and Mono waiting. One more and we can get started. Was it sunny in England today? I mean, yeah, but it was also very grey. That's typical England. Okay, we have Aegon. So this is going to be Starfall, Flaza, Mono, Aegon. Good luck to all four of you. Game start. Trip at the Souths. So technically we're now at Ishanten for a 5-2 wait. I think you need to ask that before you started the game, but yeah. Oh, thank you, Prospero. We no longer last. 2,000 points. Game moves on. Okay, useful draw. So, I mean, we draw 8-0 twice. There's options here that would be really big hand, but I doubt that's going to necessarily fall into place like that. No bin. Mind you, though, not a million miles away from it. If we do draw an 8, I might consider it. That's not an 8. We might still consider it. We'll see. Anyway, there's the East. It's 2 calls for Tanya. This is looking a really dodgy place to put an 8. To put a 5 pin, but... But yeah, it's starting to look unlikely. Yeah, starting to feel like we don't have a lot of options here, but... So even if we were to get this, this is Riichi Nomi. Although it is worth noting 7 is a safe tile to at least Prospero. Okay, cheap sumo. We can absolutely live with that. Doesn't affect a lot. So... Gaps are maintained. New hand. 6, 7, 8 Sanshiku then. Yeah, wasn't interested in a West reset here. Because there's also Tampin and things we could attempt from here as well, so... Do. Well, we're open for Nageshi. After 6. The easy part of the Nageshi. And there's that 8-man we wanted. I mean, I suppose technically we do have both as options here. It's the usual state if you're going for Yakuman hands, unfortunately. There are very limited tiles that help you, and quite a lot that don't. Yeah, that's what we wanted, but we wanted that a little earlier in the game. Alright, close Sumo. 6k again. It means that our gap to second has evaporated, but okay. Let's go here. Okay, so if we draw a 7, we have a reach. Well, 3/6 weight on the reach, I suppose, or we can reach on the 7 only. Which feels bad, but we might do it. The weird thing is, this might put us into a weird pair weight for Sananko. Although if we draw a 4, that helps us out immensely because we can cut the 1, have Tanyo. That's a thing. now we have Ishanten for Chitoi.
Riichi.
Yeah, we'll take it. 3-6, Reach, Dora 1, hopefully Ipeiko. Riichi
No.
Patsu, Dora 1. Alright, Gurney, and brings us back into range for second place. Alright, double south turn then, I suppose. Dora 9. So, double Nan, Dora 1.
Pong.
Pair of 7s is interesting. Not especially helpful, but it's interesting.
Riichi.
Well, we can safety into the first bit of this, so...
Tsumo.
Yeah, Sanso was risky. It was a 7-4... 1-4-7.
Riichi. Tsumo.
Yep, Rimi takes a small win, moves the game on. It is now our dealer turn, and our chance to come back, I guess. Probably not with this hand. Not impossible. South to begin. So goal is still trying to sneak into second. But do need some fortune here. We got a 1-2-3 Sanchikyu if we want to try and force something, but it would be forcing. Dot 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 dot. Has mono been broken on the other table? That's not very nice of you. He does like his yak. He does find certain yakus he knows and then goes for them. But, you know, that's part of his charm. Especially when he goes for something that looks like something and it's not. Yeah, Prospero's probably tempo with that. Thank you, Egan. We can buy safely for the moment. Yeah, I've got a feeling that's an error, but we're not going to be able to do a lot about this. Thankfully, it means both sides of this is going to pass. Ishanten. White 2, unfortunately, that's going to make getting second awkward now. So now we are just hoping to pick up a big hand somewhere. Two to go. I mean, Mangetsumo twice would do it. Effectively. So let's white see what we can do. Okay, if we can draw a 7-pin, this is pretty good. If we can't, we're going to have to work around it, I think, but... okay, not the worst. Potentially go north, door 1, I suppose. Or just be in a pair weight for that. Yeah, no, we don't really want to be in a pair weight for things, but... if we draw a 7, we're just going to cut the norths. Maybe we cut the norths anyway. No, it's... this is still fine. If we end up in a weight in a 7 north weight, one of each, I'm okay with that. Especially if we now draw north, just get ourselves... that is not a north. But I suppose there's more options to get us to Tempai, so... oh, there's the Riichi. It's definitely a little on the awkward end. So part of my logic for not forcing here is that we can't afford to deal into a Mangan and give away enough points to put us into last. Which is a defeated way of thinking, but that's kind of where we are right now. Yeah, I genuinely have nothing. So 7 and 8 will both pass. And we're now safe to 4th. Downside is, I'm really doubting we're going to have the ability to counter-attack and get a win here. So what we actually need is a Buyman. We might even need more than that. So, yeah, it's just a case of build up as many points as we can and mitigate the loss, I guess. If that's at all possible. Tarnpin, Sanchiku, and hope. Oh, we haven't got any part of it yet, but Tarnpin, Sanchiku, Dora, he's a good start. I mean, yeah, I had a second and I've had a third. I haven't really had a chance to do a lot this game, I've got to be honest. Doesn't feel like it. Anyway, I'll look through the game review after this, but I'm fairly certain I haven't done anything. It's just one of those sorts of games. Nice, well done. So, on your way to... What's the level up from that? Celestial or is that Saint? Nice. Well, good for you, sir. I definitely need another game after this, I think, because honestly, we need our form to go all the way down. To be fair, though, still not as bad as my game yesterday. My game yesterday is going to haunt me for a while. Dear. Okay, options. What's out? What's out? Okay. I mean, arguably this is cutting my Sanchiku, but, you know, that wasn't realistic anyway at this point, so we'll just see what we can do here.
Chi.
I mean, my game was going downhill even before that, I've got to be honest, if you mean the one that I've posted. Oh, dear. But now I spent a week grinding basically 3 matches a day for Monday to Thursday, and they ended up pretty much where I started. So that is probably the end of me doing ranks for quite a considerable amount of time. Unless, you know, I decide to get back to it on Monday. Which could happen. Not likely to, but could. Yeah, Riichi Batsu. And that'll be game. So, GG. Now we have third, which I think is just going to undo all the points I earned from my first game today. Actually, let me just have a quick check on the tournament log. What did I score in the first game today? Fairly certain I scored 11 something, so this is just might have just literally undone it. I went plus 11.2, minus 11.8, so I'm minus 0.6, which I can live with, I guess. I haven't lost anything majorly, at least, I suppose, so that's that. Alright, I'm going to jump in. I will, however, have a quick see about... Actually, I need to jump back out. I'll have a quick watch of how the other game's doing here. See what is going on and see the Eigen Honitsu machine at work. Well, Eigen has the lead, and he's not building a Honitsu. Starfall, you lied. Although, admittingly... Well, he's got it. 2-5. This is a good counter rate, actually. Goes Dama. Ipeiko, Dora 2, Pinfu. It's Mongan. It's a Mongan, dealer Mongan he's got here. He needs to go... Yeah. Hold on. We need to watch this. Eigen should probably be reaching this. It's for a 10, though. No, Eigen, why? No, Eigen, why? Alright, I can't watch that anymore. No, that's... Eigen tearing apart a manga in hand. As dealer. Alright, let's prepare and get into this. So currently it's going to be Legius Demo, Avarice's back for more punishment, and myself. Yeah, which is fair. And in fairness, if I hadn't registered it was for a 10 in truth. Giving up a for a 10 Mangan is a bit better than giving up a non for a 10 Mangan, I suppose. Anyway. Speaking of giving up, let's give up. So, potential Sanch queue here. Failing that, probably just going to cut the Norths and see if we can go Tanya.
Chi. Pong. Chi.
Tanya won. To Steel Dealership.
No.
Yeah, don't let Demo have dealer turns, ultimately. It's a good, it seems to be a good plan. Shantan. Looking luck into the 5-man, we have Riichi Pinfu. Elsewise, we're going to have Riichi Pinfu. Yeah, I think we can talk calls off for the moment because we're not going to be doing that. Not with 9s in the hand, anyway. Okay, someone's something. He's played. There's that 8 we really needed. Although, if anything, we're going to have Risa, not us, so yeah. Let's say, let's just draw a 7 now and just have given up a Sanchiku, but
Riichi.
Riichi Ipeiko Pinfu. Oh dear, Mono. Yeah, sometimes that happens, unfortunately. But you'll get your good luck back in no time. You're a good enough player to mitigate it. I imagine we're just going to pick up the draw here. Ooh, Legia sneaks a sumo, and it's a big one. Yeah, sneak the Honitsu under us. Yeah, not ideal. We're still third, but yeah. Darn it, was a decent hand we had as well. Okay, so outside chance of Junchan nonsense. Probably not going to with Dora 5s, but... But equally, I mean... It wouldn't take much for it to convert now. We draw a pair of 4s, we draw a 1-3, 1 or a 3 here. We're probably going to have to consider it. Well, now it just looks like we're on. Now it just looks like we're in a Honitsu of some kind. Okay. I mean, let's provide a signal. Oh. We're on. 9-pin free man. Would prefer the free man, of course, but this is Riichi Junchan at the moment. Come on, Sunman.
チ
There are no 9s left. That was a poor decision. But hey, Tenpai. Tenpai is Tenpai. Wish I'd have realised that. Well, we have Sanchikyu, so we might as well at least be in Tenpai for Sanchikyu at the moment. I mean, this is just really sad.
ロン
I don't want to win that, but hey, we'll take it. Well, I mean, if you're just going to do that. I was about to say, Double Reach Dragon's interested. And we're not far away here either, so
ポン
Fated Sanzo would be lovely right now. Yeah, I mean, I assumed it was Cheeto for something, but a lot of early reaches tend to be. Oh, we nearly were able to fight that. I was hoping that with the 8-so played, Demo might have played one, but alas, it didn't work out, so we're just now going to go into the south round. Level on points. We're only... It's not that far behind, really. 21 with a full round to go. It's just we're in the uncomfortable position of being in a tight battle for second, which is, you know, there are worse places to be, certainly, but it's never a good place to be. Alright, we'll go to the higher end because there is an outside chance we can get a Sanchikyu. I mention this almost every hand these days, but... But yeah, it is there, so we'll at least lean into it a little bit. Most likely though, we're just going Pinfu and just cutting these two when we get something useful, but... Or just continually cutting Manzu that aren't being helpful to us. I still want to go white. Yeah, 7 so does nothing for us in this position. 6 could potentially still be useful. We can still draw stuff off of it, but not really working at this point. Yeah, so Leggy's not counting from the lead, which is absolutely fine in this position. Again, if you're in the lead by this much, the one thing you don't want to add value to it and give somebody a door free out of nowhere. Just give them their shortcut in. I mean, this isn't the best, but it's also not the worst.
No.
And we get a Patsu off of demo, which is nice. But it is Riichi Patsu Pinfu Nomi. Dealer turn.
Pong.
Yeah, let's go for it. I don't necessarily like this plan, but it's a plan. Cut the 1-2, just go for a quick Tanyo attack here. Also, if we can get the other 8 called, then that plus something else.
Pong.
Riichi.
Fair enough. He has the better counter plan, and my tiles are not great for defending this. Yeah, this is the other side of the coin. I don't know why, if you're got that much of a points lead, you're forcing a Dora into the thing, but hey, it worked out for you. I mean, honestly, I'll take it at that point, given the option. But yeah, if my points are going to be wasted, I prefer them being wasted in that direction. Plus, he lost 1,000 anyway, so he only gained 1,600 on me. Again, not what I wanted, but it's acceptable as a result. It's just going to lead to me not winning again, unfortunately. And still puts me in the battle for last, although neither of us have dealer turns left. So the real problem now is Avarita in terms of maintaining second. This hand, however, is fairly decent. It's just not going to be valuable enough to do anything to Legius here, so we're just going to hope to move on. And he's still calling for more points.
Chi.
Yeah, I probably should have just put the 5 in. I don't know what I was thinking necessarily with that, except to possibly hide value, but honestly... Alright, I don't get punished for it, but, you know. Shouldn't have done that, really. How do we look into things? Okay. So...
Pong.
Yeah, take 10 by. So 4-7 for Tanya 1. And again, just getting a bit of a buffer here, I think, more than anything at this stage. If we can get ourselves out of Mahjong range for the last hand, I'd be reasonably confident. But 4-7s rarely pay off. Let's have Riichi's going for Honitsu.
Riichi.
Yeah, I've got to keep the attack up. Oh, that is horrible. That is really horrible. Bucket.
Low.
Well, I made the right call with that, but that... Ugh. Honestly, given that we couldn't really fold with Demo Reach there, still doesn't feel good. Either way, we got the target. We're out of Manga and Sumo range for the last hand, so... I think it was because Demo almost certainly had a valuable enough hand. If he Sumo won that, it would either put himself level or close. There's a question there to be asked, certainly, but... To be honest, I thought Legis was just going to let us play our thing, but he's obviously still pushing for points at this stage, which... might not make it impossible for us to make a comeback in this hand, actually. We got Dora 3 showing at the moment. If we can actually connect this, who knows? If we get to Hanneman, then direct hit is good enough. And it's not impossible. We draw another 1 pin that gets us Dora 4, reach pin through Dora 4. Would be kind of nuts. Reach Itsu would also be kind of nuts, though admittedly we wouldn't like to do that. Yeah. As much as I would love to force the possible Itsu here, that is greed. We need to stick with this plan, the 1-4. Okay, A1, A4 gone. So only 4 winners left if we get that line. 3 winners left, and no chance of getting that going.
Riichi.
Reach 2 is as good as we can manage then. So reach Pinfu 2.
リーチ
If he double wrongs, it could still be our win. Well. Now what do we do?
ツモ
Mitsumi Pinfu. Okay. That is fine. We stay second. I mean, there is a 4 reach draw. If Avarita could have reached, he could have actually...
人に降りかかったな
Yeah, if he could have reached, that would have caused a draw. He could have dealt into all 3 of us simultaneously as well, although I don't think that hand was on. Anyway, GG all. I am going to be done for the evening. If people do want to do one last game, I can queue that up now. If not, we will stay there. What I will do while this is going on is I will just go back to the... Let's just have a look through this. So, where's my collection here? The comeback special, as we will call it. I'm just going to have a quick review of this game, because while it was on stream, let's just talk about the nonsense here. So we started in East 1. This is a long, long game here, and we just have a quick attack, try and build up towards Dragon 2, and we're reasonably successful in doing so. He says, not actually getting there. I think we folded actually to the Reach in truth. So Hakai needs to do 4,000. But we're dealer anyway, so that's normally an acceptable start to the game. Game 2. We have a Dragon Dora start again, so we lean into that a little bit. Get the Dragon. Get ourselves the Dora Sun as well.
チ
And put ourselves Ishanten. We then eventually get into a weird position where we're desperately trying to get to things, and just does not happen.
妻
Eventually end up with this. Eventually managing to nuggle our way into the Shun Dora-san, which was a fortunate draw, also a Furiten draw, because at one point I got myself into a Furiten trap with that. Again, I fully realized I did that during the stream, but you know. Alright, so we go into a double dragon start, and honestly, yeah, not much to complain about here. We just go off on a bit of a flyer here. Hit Tenpai on turn 12 in this position. Yeah. We also get a Kandor as well, of course, and eventually hit the run off of the player across from us. So, we got to 447. Alright, dealer second repeat. This is the worst starting hand we've had all game, but in terms of how it develops, yeah.
妻
We get into a closed weight and then we draw it. So, yeah. Quick 3,000 win. That is the end of my luck for this entire stream at this... Well, my entire game at this point. So, on a bit of a roll, we again have Dragon. We again have a pretty good fast start, in truth. So, I think it was around here. Yeah, so we're just hitting Ishanten here. We then hit this. I decided to change to this kind of weight, getting rid of the 4-3 and jump drawing another 4. And now we're up against the Reach anyway, so I know 4 is safe. Hence, we played that. And Assume while we dealer. This happens. And overall, I was feeling pretty good at this point, even with this Mungan against us, which was Hanneman in truth. So losing 6,000 points, but ultimately still staying 42 and in a strong position for the rest of the game. Looking forward to East 3. So East 3 comes around, and we get ourselves into this. So we have here the ability to reach for the 7. So I decided against that largely because I have the points lead, and I didn't feel it was necessarily worth forcing this. Remember, I thought that because.
Riichi
Yeah, then I decided to just, alright, fine, let's keep going anyway. I think my argument at this point was, there's no way I can realistically improve this hand without tearing it apart a little bit. And I figured at least early reach, I can potentially threaten the dealership, move things on. that was the thought process. Unfortunately, 2 turns later, I deal into this Ipatsu.
ロン
Which is what I should have done. You're absolutely correct. This is where I should have
リ
changed
ー
to
チ
Tanyo.
一発ドラ2ドラ3
And I was suitably punished. Even this wasn't the end of the world, because ultimately what I figured about from this point of view is I am now in East 3. I am in range. I've been in worse games. Calm down, relax, try to get it together. So East 3 repeat comes along. I don't think I'm able to do a lot with this one. From memory,
ロン
it's just a reach and dealing before I get a chance to do anything about this.
一発
But again,
ピンフ
dealer on another rampage. So I think this is the key point of the game, really. The East 3 second repeat. And to be honest, yeah, not much I really say about this bit. It's just basically building up, and the hand develops extremely nicely. We end up hitting door 3 with a dragon. We know there's a hand across from on the left. We're assuming Toito. We're assuming it's not Honitsu based on this. And we're just trying to work around it, discarding what we can see on the table. We then draw this.
Riichi.
And I figure, okay, one on the table already. Why not try and force it? And yeah, there's an argument I could have held off, but I didn't have a Yaku if I didn't reach with this, so I felt since I got Dora 5 effectively from this hand, it had to be. I had to go for it. Hanneman, you can't just ignore. And
No.
we actually get reasonably lucky here. Now note, we have 2 repeats, so Yong goes directly down to 0 points. And had this have ended the game, I would have been pretty happy with the events of the game. Yeah, this would, if this is the end, no complaints. This is just how it happens. So, this hand, this position, any sumo wins, gets me second. Let's go. So I make the 2 quick calls. I get myself into this kind of position on turn 5, and I'm feeling really good about it, ultimately. Unfortunately, I get Tempai here on the 4-7. Again, 4-7s are usually fairly unlucky in terms of getting them. I have the option of changing up my weight. I would have dealt in either way, which I didn't realize at the time, but obviously had to stay in something, so I went for the thing that gave me the most value. Dealing 2,000 points. This is perfectly acceptable, and as far as I'm concerned, nothing has changed. But potentially opportunity lost. South 1. Same position, except I don't have an easy Yaku to necessarily go for. Triplet of the West doesn't particularly help me a great deal, but the rest of the hand starts building towards this. So, late game, we have Reach Pinfu. Well, we have Reach and Dora 1. And again, hoping to Sumo to just end the game.
ズモ全部ちょうだい
And a Dharma hand over there. Just, yeah. Dharma effective Mangan, and of course she was Dharma because, of course, 0 points. But, yeah, she was able to recover. We don't have this. This is not a great hand, but, you know, this is the start of my troubles. And as it builds, we end up having that with a dealing on that side. Again, doesn't affect me a great deal. Potentially gives me another target to just try and end the game quickly and get out of here. But yeah, 1500. So now we have an end game. The game will end, or at least that is the theory. So here, Khan straight into door 4. So honestly, I should have been a bit more aware of the threat at this stage, but again, it is a closed Khan, so we'd expect a reach if anything's gonna happen, but oh boy. We eventually do hit
Riichi.
Reach, Pinfu, and things. Yeah, it could have been Tanyo, but here's the thing. 2 tiles down, Reach against this. So, obviously, yeah, at this stage, playing the free man, not a great decision against a Reach Dora 4 dealer. But I don't know. I was clearly on tilt from here, I've got to be honest. And if I wasn't on tilt before, definitely on tilt after that. So down to 4th. So now it is, what can I do to possibly build a hand? What can I do indeed? And this was the monster. Now, obviously know this now, didn't know this at the time. A doomed monster, but still. When you're given a Soundbite chance, you have to try for it, and yeah. It just gets taken away from us, which is fair. We now need to repeat 4. Oh dear. I mean, as I say, that was the comeback chance. If you we go into 5 repeats here, which is basically that. And then, obviously, I end up with a double deal in here. And at this stage, I've really got no excuses. It's just a case of I'm trying everything I can to keep the game in. I don't know.
No.
I saw the Sam Byman line. I would have dealt him with a 7 here as well, which, again, was what I assumed since it was Dora. Oh, dear. But anyway. Yeah, that was horrible, and that has taken me off of ranked for a little bit, I feel. Actually, no, 7 would have dealt in. Actually, 7's my tile. That's why I'm not saying that. Still, I don't think it would necessarily be worth playing there, although it would have been fun to cause another Dora 4 position. Anyway. Yeah, just adding that onto the review log. We'll see. I'm going to catch you all later. Thanks for joining us for the stream. I'll update the scoreboards and things before the next one. Catch you later.